Hey folks, today we're going to be taking a look at Always Sometimes Monsters from Vagabond Dog, which is a couple of guys up in Toronto, I believe. And the big hook for this game, or the big thing about it, is that it's supposed to basically present you with a bunch of moral choices and decisions to make and stuff. And it's a life simulator, is what it's billed as. Um, right off the bat, obviously graphics and stuff not amazing, especially if you're getting a little sick of pixel art. But I think that's totally beside the point here in terms of what the game is trying to accomplish, since it is kind of all about writing, which the writing is pretty decent, we'll say. They definitely do their job of, like, they live up to presenting you with a bunch of moral choices and stuff for sure so far from what I've played. Um, but I think that sometimes like the writing feels maybe just falls a little flat, I guess, or feels very like a victim maybe of being a game with this type of art and everything. I don't know, like maybe with a different art style, the writing would come off different, but because of of it looking basically kind of like an RPG Maker game or something, that's not to say that in a bad way, because there are certainly good games that are made with RPG Maker. It's a tool that can be used well or used poorly, just like any other. Um, but a lot of them are known for, kind of having less than stellar writing and that kind of stuff. And I wonder if maybe it just suffers from that perception a bit. And the fact that they are trying to tell, a story with a whole bunch of moral choices and stuff. Like, you kind of obviously have to put people in some maybe slightly more unbelievable or outlandish situations to accomplish that. Like this little beginning here. So this is totally, well, I guess it's unrelated so far. I would assume obviously it'll come back around. You'll be the person here with the gun. But I haven't gotten there yet. And the choice is yours. So I'll save you a whole lot of time here. You can totally shoot him, and then you have to go through this intro again if you want to. If you want to actually play the game, you can shoot him. That's fine, and then you can sit through the intro again. So save yourself a couple of minutes. You don't like get anything super funny or anything. It's just, hey, that's maybe not how it should have gone. This is where things start to kind of take off. Like that little opening bit, I think is really, maybe as I get towards the end of the game, like it'll fall into place, like if they're actually related in some way to my character's story and stuff, or if that just happens to happen, you know. Like I said, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm maybe 8 days in or something like that. It's 30. You spend 30 days basically. Um, so this little party here is actually how you end up choosing your character and kind of setting out on your path, which is, I think, was a cool way to do it. And I totally did not realize that's what I was doing the first time I went through here. Mean wife. It's okay, he's a bit of a dick too. So, and you can pick pretty much any one of these people except for a few. So like this girl here is part of the story, so you can't pick her. And I have seen some of these characters pop up here and there, so if you don't choose these people, they do, I guess, kind of show up again. I don't know if all of them do, but some of them definitely do. I have run into a few of them already. One of them, just no acknowledgement necessarily. I don't know if it's just reusing of the art or if it actually is supposed to be the same character, but a couple of them are also... No, hey, we met at the party a year ago, because after you choose here at the party, it'll flash forward 1 year. And then you have these guys down here, which are the little devs, and you'll run into them throughout the game, chilling in the coffee shop, making the game, and making commentary on the game. And some of it's pretty funny. It's worth checking out, for sure, and it's cool, because you do actually kind of get a chance to get a little bit of their personal doubts and stuff maybe while they were making the game, which I think is really neat of them to kind of just put that out there. So let's choose a dude. And you can, like I said, you can choose any one of these people except for those couple over there, the devs and the one girl there. And you have a drink. But wait, I have to go get my boyfriend or girlfriend. And this is something I super appreciate. You can, again, pick any one of these people out here, and they are treated totally fairly. Like, so we're gonna pick this dude. He is, oh, he's waiting on us, dude. Dude's totally my boyfriend. We're gonna get a chance to name them, and they'll kiss. And the same thing happens if you pick a girl. I would assume the same thing happens if you pick two girls. It doesn't seem to... I haven't noticed any change, though, like in how people necessarily treat you in real life, though, either. So, which, on one hand, is great. Like, hey, people don't treat you differently for being gay or not or whatever. But at the same time, like, having experienced certainly being treated differently for, you know, aspects of my sexuality, like, you get treated differently when you're with a dude and you're a dude versus when you're with a girl, or vice versa. So it would have, you know, at the same time, it would be nice to maybe see, you know, either dealing with prejudices because of that or something. I don't know. But that's also not necessarily maybe the scope of the game. And I'm running into one of my little issues, which is that X is the confirm. And I don't know how that became a thing, but I don't like it. I've run into a couple of games now that do that, and I am not a fan. A and B, confirm and back. That's good buttons for it. Always work. Last Tinker, it was like Y to confirm stuff. That was really annoying too. Sounds perfect. So yeah, and at the same time, like, that's kind of sort of damning them if they do, damning them if they don't too. Like, well, oh, you didn't make it different, we get treated differently. Oh, it's the same, you know, oh, you treated us differently, what the hell, we want to be the same. So yeah, I totally get, like, you have to take one approach or the other. You have to decide, what is this going to be a commentary on, and if you're not going to be a commentary on dealing with the shittiness of going through that kind of social stigma, then it is probably best to just treat them completely equal and completely, like, not, you know, make it a thing whether the character that you're playing is gay or not. To not screwing up. And this is when I realized the first time, like, oh, I'm picking my characters. I got it. And then you get fast forwarded 1 year. And your lovely boyfriend or girlfriend has left you, and your life has fallen to shit. And the book deal that you just signed in the scene before has gone to hell. Basically, everything has gotten off track. And then you find out that the love of your life is getting married to some other jerk. And you set off on a journey to presumably go stop the wedding, or at least go, you know, say something to him or her. I would assume that's a choice that you get to make when you get there. This is basically, you have 3 time periods for the day. You have a morning, kind of a day, and a night. So, and certain events will trigger, like, time to pass, and then obviously other things won't. And rent. We're fucking deadbeats. About to get kicked out of our apartment. And so a lot of, like, these first very early moral choices revolve around getting money to either pay rent or not pay rent, you know, or end up being on the streets. And I ended up sleeping on the streets my first night because I was not willing to steal from people and shit, which is, like, what it seems like what it's gonna take to actually pull that off. So you can peek in the doors here, which I didn't do, so let's... Alright then. See what's going on in there. Okay, I got it. Let's go. They're fucking in there. I got it. Oh, it's fucking hitting a bong. I'm like, what the hell is going on there? Could not figure out what was supposed to be in his hand. Dude's fucking smoking weed. Mr. Williger. Sorry, I'm in a hurry. No time to chat, old lady. So, I guess I'm not sure. Maybe she does address you differently, and maybe there is some subtle changes there. Like, maybe if I was with a girl, she doesn't call him my roommate. I don't know. That would, like I said, that would actually be really cool if there are some subtle changes like that. It seems to me that you know, the draw here is maybe you are going to want to go through a couple of times just to see, at least, you know, one time being nice and one time being a total shit, probably, to at least kind of check out what happens differently. Like, of course, obviously, if you're into the game. If you're not going to want to fucking do that. And I personally, so far, like I said, you're basically here for the writing, and occasionally it falls a little flat, or maybe feels just a little unnatural, I guess, or a little over the top. But for the most part, like, it's definitely, it hasn't done so enough to turn me off by any means. Slip out of here undetected. Nope. You dirty skunk. Like, stuff like that is just like, I don't even know. I've never met an old person who would talk like that either. Give me time, man. Check still not here. See, yeah, our book deal fell through. You'll find out why. It's kind of your fault. It is, I mean, it is definitely a little vulgar too. I suppose, like, if that's going to offend you, maybe steer clear. But there's going to be, if a little vulgarity in language is going to offend you, then there's plenty other situations that are going to probably grate you, and this is not a game that you're going to want to go near. Fine, take my apartment key, asshole. What a fucking asshole. So we're going to go ahead and skip ahead here real quick. About 5 or 6 days in to when you are about to head out of town here. And your drug addicted buddy has had an overdose, which you may or may not be able to prevent. I'm not sure. Here they're telling you about the little collectibles. So there is a collectible, these little indie heroes figurines, that, like any good RPG, run around, click on all the things, and you'll find them, like, in trash cans and shit like that. And you'll also find little bits of money and other stuff occasionally, shit like that. Or just little random things. But so yeah, let's skip ahead real quick here. So yeah, there's the girl from the party, and this is your buddy Dark F, which is a very interesting rock name. Even I would assume that's a name that he chose for his rockness. But yeah, so he's a musician, of course, and him and his girlfriend are drug-addled, and yeah, she came around and got him high and got him in the hospital. And there's a doctor that's like, basically you can't afford to help treat him. Oh, oops. And there's a doctor that's being a dick about it. So we want him to treat him for free, obviously. Because, of course, all doctors should work for free. And so you get here, and we have some choices. You can come around, and she just wants us to straight beat the shit out of his car. Or you can be different about it and go in and look for some damning evidence around his house, which is what I did in my regular playthrough. So let's go ahead and beat the crap out of his car. I would definitely recommend you do search out the damning evidence, though. It is a little amusing. Beat up his car with his own frickin' golf club. See how that works out. It doesn't, maybe not necessarily the best way to get somebody to do what you want, to break all their shit, but let's do it. It's smashing time. Oh, dude's got a car alarm. Smash the shit out of that Benz. I wonder if we're gonna get caught by the cops. Jeez, we are really ripping on that fucking car there. Probably at least 50 grand. And we took a hood ornament for a souvenir. Beat the shit out of his car and take the damning evidence. Oh, yes, you totally have a beeper. Which I thought that was pretty amusing. That's your, instead of giving you a phone or whatever, you have a beeper, and there's payphones around town, which is fucking great, quite frankly. Sorry for giving you so much shit. But so yeah, that's always sometimes monsters. That's some of the situations you'll find yourself in. Um, it's out now. You can pick it up off their site, vagabonddog.com, or Steam for $10. Thanks for watching.